Hey guys, my name is Casey and this is Zone for Geeks. In this episode, we're going to point our website to a Linux web server so that we don't have to pay those hefty monthly fees. I'm going to be using an Ubuntu server as my web server. You can install this on a virtual machine, an old computer like you have laying around, or in my case on a Raspberry Pi. This Raspberry Pi only has the core Ubuntu server on it, so we need to install some software in order to get it to act as our web server. The software you need to install is Apache 2. You can see the command here on screen, but I will also leave it in the description below. While this installs, I should point out that while you can run a web server with just Apache 2, you most likely want to install PHP and a MySQL database. Since that's not needed for this web server to get this web server up and running, I'm not going to do that, but I will leave the commands for installing PHP and MySQL in the description below. Apache will take a few minutes to install, so once it's done, I'll be back. Once we have Apache installed, we can navigate over to the IP address of our web server and verify that it is working. If the installation was successful, you'll see the Apache webpage. We can navigate to the folder that holds our newly minted website by going into the var/www/html folder. Here you can see the index.html file, which is the Apache page we saw earlier. I'm going to create a new folder and a new index file to show you how simple it is. Now that we have Apache installed, the next thing we need is our website. You can purchase a website name from many places. In my case, GoDaddy.com was having a deal that if you bought a 2-year domain account, the first year was just 99 cents. So I decided to do that, and I paid $21 for just 2 years. Once you have your website, you need to point the site to your web server. To do this, you need to update the DNS record. First, you need to get your public IP address. You can find that by opening a web browser and searching "What is my IP address?" Once you have your IP address, log into the website where you purchased your website and find the DNS record. You want to update the A record. Update the record with your public IP address. This can take several hours to propagate across the internet, so I went ahead and did mine earlier. For simplicity, I bypassed my firewall and attached my web server directly to my modem. However, I still need to log into my modem to allow the incoming traffic. Some modems and routers will have services already set up and you just need to assign them an IP address. In my case, I don't have that, so I'm going to manually set the IP address to allow ports 80 and 443, which is HTTP and HTTPS. Once that is done, you can test your web server by opening your browser and navigating to www.whatever.com. If it doesn't come up, then your DNS record hasn't been updated, or it's likely that your router is having a hard time determining where to send the traffic. This happens when your router tries to route traffic internally, something that it isn't supposed to do. To test if this is happening, try opening your website from a connection not on your local network, such as a phone using cellular data. If you can hit your website, then you know everything is working as expected. If you have your own DNS server, you can just add a DNS record pointing your internal connection to the internal IP address. Alternative, you can manually update the host files on your machine. To do this, open Notepad in administrator mode and navigate to the following path. The path will be listed in the description below. Click All Files and then open your host file. Update the file as shown on screen. Once you save the file, navigate to your website. Your host file will redirect to your internal IP address. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.